G'day and welcome, as I just take a swig of water, to the match preview show on My Blue Heaven. Great to have your company, as always. It's been what a roller coaster of a week on My Blue Heaven. Has it taken an emotional toll on me? It probably has a little bit, and a bit of a physical toll. I can rest assured you though, and thanks for all the well wishes and care shown, particularly in the comments, in regards to my health. No, I'm not on the verge of a nervous breakdown. I am quite sane. I don't think I'm going to have a stroke, although sometimes when I jump up quickly, I do get that head spin. And I don't think I'm going to have a heart attack, although I do get fired up. So thanks for the care. And I did joke that I had 25 ulcers, and I don't feel like I've got 25 ulcers. So I'm okay. So what I want to do in this preview is just try and talk calmly and see if I can get through this whole preview of the St Kilda game tomorrow night at Marvel Stadium without raising my voice. And that's going to be a challenge. I understand that. I appreciate that, but I reckon I can do it because I have been getting fired up, really fired up. One thing I will say is I'm not going to be silenced. Okay, I'm not going to be silenced. All right, I am not an apologist for the football club. I understand the ramifications in regards to what I say, particularly when, you know, your points are really strong in regards to a champion of the football club. And I'm speaking about the Mark Murphy video. I knew it would divide. I knew it wouldn't sit well with a lot of people, and I respect that. I really do. But that's my opinion, and I'm not going to go back on that. But I wish Murph all the best. If he plays this weekend, I wish him all the best, and I hope he can lift. I hope he can lift like the rest of the team, and be a really strong contributor, because that's all we want. You would have noticed the image, okay, in the introduction of a really strange and mysterious looking footballer, and I wouldn't blame you if you thought, who the hell is that? Okay, why is he putting that picture up there? Who is that? Did he used to play for Carlton? Well, that player is Lockie O'Brien, who was picked 10 in the 2017 draft. We had 2 first-round picks that year. We had Paddy Dow at 3, and then we had O'Brien at pick 10. And Lockie, where the hell has he been? You know, like, he played 35 games in his first 2 seasons, 18 in his first year, 17 in his second. He's a boy from Mildura, played a bit at the Bendigo Pioneers, got a fantastic scholarship to Geelong Grammar. He's a brilliant athlete, but in the last 2 years, he's been as fit as a fiddle. Nothing wrong with him physically. He's played 2 games in 2 seasons. He played 1 game last year in round 20 against the Adelaide Crows in that dreadful loss at Metricon Stadium, where he was putrid. And he would acknowledge that. He'd have to acknowledge that. He was terrible, and he wasn't the only one. And then he played round 1 this year against the Tigers. He was a little bit better in that game, but not good enough to remain in the team, and we haven't seen him since. Well, I can tell you, it is now 20 past 1, but by the time this goes to air, which is hopefully in about 45 minutes' time, Lockie O'Brien will play this weekend or tomorrow night against the St Kilda Football Club. I'll put my house on that. I'll put my house on Lockie O'Brien playing against the Saints tomorrow night at Marvel Stadium. I have no idea who comes out. We do know that Zach Williams and obviously Eddie Betts have been forced changes in regards to injury. Eddie with his ankle, Williams with his hamstring. Is Lockie O'Brien just a replacement for Williams? Okay, I'm not quite sure. But I can tell you in an exclusive that Lockie O'Brien will play for the Carlton Football Club tomorrow night. Personally, I would actually hope he replaces Sam Petreski-Seton. I would like to see that because I thought Sam was dreadful. Absolutely. And he wasn't the only one, but his efforts, in that game against North Melbourne last week weren't, of an AFL standard in regards to effort and commitment. So I actually hope Lockie O'Brien replaces Sam Petreski-Seton, but we know that won't be the case, We know that maybe Matthew Cottrell will be a scapegoat. And I'm not here protecting Matthew Cottrell because I don't think he's up to the standard either. So that will be interesting to see in itself. So there you go. Lockie O'Brien, welcome back, son. Good luck. Let's not hold our breath though to see what Lockie produces tomorrow night. But we hope it's good. Friday night footy, eh? Oh my God. Look, I was thinking back, when was the last time we actually played Friday night football? When we were on the big stage under the bright lights, and it was actually last year. I know, the last 2 seasons has been severely impacted by COVID, but we did actually play a game on the 21st of August last year, when we beat the Gold Coast Suns up in Darwin by 33 points, and you would remember that game. Because it was the game after the Fremantle game where we won after the siren. We were on a bit of a roll. We won 2 in a row against the Dockers and the Gold Coast Suns. And then after we beat the poor old Suns by 33 points, we beat up on them at Darwin. That's when Cripper came into the rooms after the game and said, "We're back. We're back. We've won 2 games against the Dockers and the Gold Coast Suns, and we're back." So that was actually the last time we played Friday night football. And then the following week, after Cripper said we're back, we played an undermanned and struggling Collingwood at the Gabba and arguably put it in our worst performance of the year. And we all remember that game. So the old we're back, I don't think he's going to quite live that one down, Patrick, unfortunately. But since the normal season, we have to go back to 2018, since we last played Friday night football. And that year we actually played 4. We played 4 games on a Friday night, and we got beaten in all of them. And the league and the fans, the opposition fans, they were up. They were up and about. And disgraceful, how can Carlton play Friday night football? And we got defensive about it. But now it's a bit of a joke, isn't it? Like, we're seeing this and going, God almighty, we've just fallen into a Friday night game. And coincidentally, guys, that Friday night game back in 2018, that last one we did play, was against the Saints, who we played tomorrow night, and they gave us an absolute smashing by 64 points. I think they had something like 36 scoring shots and never looked in doubt. They destroyed us under Brendan Bolton. So that was the last time. That's the last time we played Friday night football. So we get to do it tomorrow night against the Saints. I don't know about what to think about this game. I really don't. It's so difficult to even try and comprehend what we want to see, because we get the feeling there will be a response. We get the feeling there will be a response, but the facts of the matter are we're sick and tired of responses, because that response is never backed up by another response. The club, this week, there's been a lot of talk this week. Wiedering, Betts have been in the media in their spots. I think Wiedering on Gerard Whateley's show on SEN, and Betts on his usual sort of segment on Fox Footy. They're embarrassed. They're humiliated. We've heard this before. They continue to say it. T continues to mumble his way through press conferences with mixed messaging. I would love to know who's actually advising him in this area. I think if he does go on, it's a real concern. It needs to be something which is addressed. He really does need some help in this area. He needs to keep it blunter, shorter, okay, and to the point. A lot of his stuff is open to interpretation, and a lot can be taken out of context. And he leaves himself wide open and shows a real vulnerability, and shows that he is really struggling as far as I'm concerned. And I don't know, even the messaging around Charlie, and it'd be great to see Charlie back. My thoughts on Charlie playing if he's 100% right. If he's 100% right physically and mentally. But the facts are he's not. He's not 100% physically right. Not at AFL level. Not in the brutality of this game. He's not. So we know that. And I think Teague's been okay this week in saying he's not. You know, he'll be rusty. That's okay. I mean, I don't mind that. But the mixed messaging then comes into the fact that Teague has said on multiple occasions the number one priority here is to win a game of football. That's the number one priority, and play players who are in form. And Charlie he's a different kettle of fish. We understand that. He's a unique talent, but he was an inconsistent, unique talent before he went out with an injury. So I don't know what we are to expect from this. It's almost like he's been built up to be a saviour, and it's typical Carlton. We've become that conditioned to, I don't know, believe that he will be the fix. And just for this point in this time, everything will be okay because Charlie will be back. But we're almost playing it down as well, all right? But Wiedering said it in his press conference with Gerard Whateley. He's put finals back on the agenda in this game. He said playing against St Kilda, both teams are desperate, okay, to get that last spot in the top 8. So we're still talking about finals, which is just unbelievable considering the effort that was put in against North Melbourne the week before. So I'm not quite sure what we're trying to do here. Is it to get Charlie back, to get some games under his belt? Is it to get, and I mentioned this, is it to get Murph to his 300? What are we trying to do? Are we trying to win a game of football here? Are we serious? Are we actually serious about trying to win a game of football? Would you think just bringing Charlie in is going to suddenly change the fabric of the football team in regards to effort? And the fact of the matter is, he'll give us an enormous lift. But why should Charlie be the one to give us an enormous lift? Shouldn't they be lifting each other every week in regards to what they said we were going to do at the start of the year? I am keeping calm. So it's sort of on the verge of maybe getting a little bit fired up there. So it's just a little bit of mixed messaging here, and I don't really know what to expect, other than the fact that we know we'll probably come out a little bit fired up, and there will be intense effort. But I don't know. I just think we come up against a team that traditionally has done very well against us, and there's a lot of teams that have. I know we got them in Teague's, I think, first game as coach. I think St Kilda definitely frustrate their supporters, but I think they have shown a lot more in the second half of the season than what we have. I think physically they've always tested us. Their midfielders in particular, Jack Steele has always had the better of Patrick Cripps. And I think he was probably one of the first ones, if I think back to when Cripper was really at the top of his game. I think it was Jack Steele was the one that probably got under his guard in the early days, if we remember back. He was like the trendsetter in regards to taking Cripper out of the game. He seemed to really get under his skin, not only to the point of Cripper playing poorly, but Jack Steele becoming a significant player as well. I've liked the return of a bloke that we thought was gone from St Kilda, and that's Luke Dunstan. Crouch, Crouch is Crouch. I mean, he's just he wins the ball. He uses it okay. They bat pretty deep in there, and they've probably got the best two ruckmen in the competition in regards to a duo, and that's Paddy Ryder and Rowan Marshall. And if you remember back to that game in 2018, that last time we played at Friday Night Football, he was outstanding. I think he was playing like his 10th game, and he completely destroyed us. And we saw then and there that this kid can play, and he's as hard as a duck's beak. And Ryder's just an exceptional ruckman in regards to hit-outs, very crafty, very smart. So TDK, it's another huge challenge. But I think TDK's last 2 weeks has been probably one of the, I don't know, there's been more than just one positive. But I think last week he was okay against Goldstein, and he was definitely okay against the week before against the Cats. And I think this is another huge challenge for him. Let's not use injury as an excuse. We know we're decimated. It feels like there is a bit of a tipping point, and we have reached that. But St Kilda have battled injuries all year. They haven't had Jay Gresham, who I rate as good as any of our youngsters other than Sam Walsh. So let's put that on the table now. They lost, I reckon, a really talented defender in Ben Patton. He's hard, okay, and disciplined. Jake Carlisle, I mean, I know he gets criticised, but there's a key back they haven't had. Battle, another big they haven't had as well. Their skipper, okay? And he's probably finished, but he's still hard. And we remember last year what he was able to do against Doc in that game. So they've got a lot of injuries, but they get some significant players back for tomorrow night. Hunter Clark, talented kid, really talented. We got, I've mentioned Marshall will be back into the team. Tom Highmore looks a likely type down back, and then Jack Higgins as well. And that forward line worries me. It really does. I mean, North completely destroyed us last week, but this is a good forward line. King, 8 contested marks last week. Oh, wow. Didn't he put on a show over in the West? His ability to get separation and launch himself at the ball and take the ball at its highest point. I can't remember seeing a player do that as well as this young kid. He was superb last week. Memory always troubles us. Work rate, absolutely brilliant. And then those smaller type players, Higgins, Butler, who've beaten us and destroyed us in the past. And I like what St Kilda have done with Ben Long as well, as that sort of pressure type forward. That's it. That's it, really. I'm not going to be happy unless it's a win. It's 4 points, and it's a hard-fought win of guts and determination and effort. We show a willingness to defend, showing willingness to work hard as a team. And we're up for the fight. We're up for the challenge for the whole game, and nothing else is going to please me. Nothing else will please me at all tomorrow night on the big stage. I'll see you again, guys. Thanks for joining us.